was certain I would see you again. How are you faring, Zamir? News that a brave youth has spilled royal blood has spread swiftly. One day, I shall sing songs about such a heroic tale. But this is not the day. This day, I simply thank you for triumphing over wickedness. Pathos was hideously twisted, and a threat to the plebs, aye. But we can't pin the destruction of your village on him. The pursuit of power through alchemy was his sole endeavor. I'm afraid the true culprit still roams free. What? You wish to head straight to the royal palace? I regret having to be the bearer of bad news, but the road that leads to it is hopelessly obstructed. I can vouch for it. Such has been the case since the royal schism. Nevertheless, I would advise you to explore the further reaches of the realm. There might be more to the story than meets the eyes of here. Take this with you. It's no ordinary rock. I've heard folks on pilgrimage calling it memento of fauns. Upon using such an item, you'll be brought back to the safety of this hamlet. Intriguing, I know. It's old magica. It's best not to dwell on it. You want to know what has befallen the royal family? Your folks really did shelter you from the woes of reality, did they not, Zamir? Very well then, if you insist. The moment the king and his sons quarreled and had a falling out is the moment generally referred to as the royal schism. The details are scarce, but the damage is plain to see. The princes tear apart the kingdom and its people, while King Telos, he remains silent. And still to this day, despite my best efforts, not a single sign of her. What? Oh, right. It's only fair I tell you. If you really want to know what drives me, for the longest time, I've been investigating the disappearance of the king's youngest child, his daughter. She vanished without a trace years ago, and it left him broken. In despair, I have reason to believe this was in fact what led to the royal schism, the event that plunged the realm into chaos. But why am I really doing this? Well, now, some things are better left unknown, lest they become the wrong kind of music. You may go now. I apologize, but I need some time alone with my thoughts. Farewell. You may go now. I apologize.
Greetings! Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? The brave girl and her magnificent mount. Remember poor little me? I never got around to introducing myself properly. I'm Eaton of Aram. I'm delighted to make your acquaintance. I welcome you to this humble hamlet. There is a certain duality to this place. Can't you tell? One feels secure within the ruins' embrace, but at the same time, one can't avoid this foreboding weight. Like a lump in the throat. Something ominous looms over us, I tell you. But then again, can anyone truly feel safe anywhere these days? Like most places in the realm before the schism, this little settlement used to be bursting with life. Look at it now. A feeble shadow of its former state. Even so, for today, I thank the heavens for the shimmer of hope Fons sparks in me. What is the royal schism, you ask? Well, I'm no savant, but we plebs can certainly affirm that the hardest blow landed on our backs. Let's just say that something foul befell the royal family. After the queen passed away during childbirth, wild rumors started to spread. In hindsight, some of them did ring true. One day the king's sons took it upon themselves to reign over the whole region, each claiming a portion of the realm. And to this day, there's still no word from our king. Utter madness, I tell you. The territory slowly eroded and was left in disarray. The princes seemed only to have misery in store for us simple folk. After that, chaos settled in. Towns left in ruins, brigands roaming the streets. Even children began to disappear, abducted for some twisted purpose. And now, people being experimented upon, being turned into wooden beasts. Madness. What? Your village burned to the ground, you say? Oh, heavens above. I'm so sorry. I can tell this much. You seek the king with revenge in your eyes. I don't blame you. But you listen to me, and listen closely. When blue blood drips from your fingers, don't let it taint your spirit. There is just something rotten about the royalty. But you listen to me, and listen closely. When blue blood drips from your fingers, don't let it taint your spirit. There is just something rotten about the royalty. But you listen to me, and listen closely. that you listen to me, and listen close.
Who is it? Oh, my. How do you do, my dear? Pardon me for not inviting you in. You must understand, child, these are dangerous times. Dangerous indeed. What? You aim to enter the plains of Turin? Have you lost your mind, child? That is absolutely preposterous. A terrible curse has taken hold of the area. Surely you must have heard. But wait. Oh, yes, I can sense it. I can indeed. Your burning resolve. Could you be the one to undo the corruption which consumes this place? I have no choice but to put my faith in you. As far as I know, the only way to get to those grounds nowadays is through a tunnel, and the door which leads to it is locked. I was entrusted with the key a long time ago. I swore I would never allow anyone to defile the eternal slumber of the dead. But for you, I shall break the oath. Here is the key. Please, child, do be careful. Why am I living alone out here, you ask? Why, indeed? Well, if you must know, I used to be the servant of fawns, up to the day my, let's call it interest in the culture of the ancestors made some of my neighbors grow wary of my endeavors. I eventually realized the best course of action would be to step away to avoid their evil eye. So I decided to move in closer to the plains of Turim, where I could further pursue my passion. For many a year, I studied the creatures most folks call brutes. Fascinating beings indeed. I found that one can still learn much of the ancestral legacy by understanding their behavior. It filled me with gratitude that the brutes tolerated my presence, even this close to their sacred grounds. But, my dear, it saddens me to tell you that tragedy has befallen this wondrous place. I no longer dare to leave my home, let alone tread on that once virgin soil, now cursed with something worse than death. You shall witness it with your very eyes soon enough. It all started when one of the king's sons arrived, Prince Ethos. He first approached the brutes with diplomacy. They are naive and childlike beings. Ended up being easily outwitted by the silver-tongued prince. Alas, it did not take long for war and violence to show their horrid heads. I'm afraid the whole thing is a lost cause, child. Lost indeed. What was once a thing of beauty has now decayed. But maybe you could somehow... Well, enough of that. Thanks for listening to the prattle of this old woman, my dear. Thank you indeed. You should be on your way. Best of luck. Well, enough of that.
Oh, please, girl. Don't come near me. You might get cursed if you get too close. My men, my brothers in arms, I watched them fall. I watched them all die. But then something wicked, grotesque, took hold of their corpses. All of a sudden, blood-red flowers started to burst out of the once sterile ground. The very balance of life disrupted. I simply couldn't believe my eyes. At that moment, the dead all around me began to rise. I just ran, like the bloody coward I am. I just ran, like the bloody coward I am. I just ran, like the bloody coward I am.
You're here! Just as Joran said you would be! I must thank you again for saving me from a most terrible fate. Were it not for you, my old bones would certainly be burned timber by now. I will always be in your debt. Say, have you talked to that foreigner at the hamlet? The odd fellow wearing a blue turban? Good heavens, the man can play a tune. And he seems to be very interested in your tale. He told me to head towards the plains of Turin, if I wish to be of use to you. I thought the way here was cut off, but that bard sure knows the lay of the land. He showed me exactly where to go. I found that there were 2 levers inside the room, on each side of the gate. They need to be operated in tandem. Only then will those weight contraptions work. I already took care of the lever in the room behind me. No need for you to climb up those wooden ladders. As far as I know, this land used to be brute territory. A holy place of sorts, which should have been left well alone if you ask me. But alas, after the schism, along came Prince Ethos with his army, marching to the beat of the drums, and the rest, as they say, is history. I sense something wicked has happened here. The vacant gaze of that poor broken guard over there tells the whole tale. I'm helping you open this gate, but I simply don't have it in me to cross its threshold. I'm truly sorry. I tell you, I'm confident you will fight your way through any hardship alongside that magnificent elk of yours. I dare say, I have never seen such a truer bond. Good luck, young one, and be careful. Good luck, young one, and be careful.